Sorry, I didn't see you. Sometimes hard when the ministers.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise this afternoon to make a contribution on the motion. Well, in fact, I suppose there's half a motion by the Jackie Lambie Network this afternoon that's left after the amendments. And want to acknowledge that the intention of the motion was to stand back in and support regional communities across Tasmania. I think that's a really valid thing to do, and I believe that it's important because there is no other part of this House than Tasmanian Labor that really understand, get out, connect with, meet with, sit down at kitchen tables and often actually share emotion with the families and individuals of our regional communities of Tasmania. It is not, however, possible to stand in a genuine attempt to present yourself and talk about regional communities without understanding regional economies. It is not possible to separate those matters, and it's not possible to say that you talk about a regional economy without a regional community but without regional industry. Tasmanian Labor have for decades in this place stood firmly with those hard-working families, often over many generations in the same industry, that have actually built the communities around them. If you talk about the history of and the legacy of hydro in Tasmania, one of the really powerful things that I heard someone once say, we talk about what hydro's done for regional economies in Tasmania, what it's done in terms of putting Tasmania not only on the national but the international stage, but hydro and what that's allowed to occur and develop in Tasmania actually built economic opportunity, but it built community. It built family. It created and provided opportunities for families to put food on the table, shelter across the top of their families, and to build connections and networks between small towns and small communities by the work that was done, not only by people that had grown up and lived in Tasmania for all of their lives, but from the communities that we welcomed from far afield as well into our Tasmanian community. So to stand up and say that the Jackie Lambie Network, actually we're not saying that anymore, we're just saying that the House recognise the importance of regional communities without acknowledging and respecting and accepting the contributions that our hard-working Tasmanians make, I don't think actually is a valid position to hold. Whether it be in my portfolio areas of aquaculture, we've already heard our leader talk about the West Coast, Macquarie Harbour, whether it be on the East Coast, whether it be down in Storm Bay. There are towns and strings of towns along highways, along valleys, in communities that would not exist were it not for the aquaculture industry in Tasmania. There are towns that you drive through, all you see is high vis, whether it be in their cars on their way to work, whether it be at the morning tea break or the lunch break in the local takeaway store, whether it be the family members of the workers in that industry that are operating in the bakeries, operating in the supermarkets, whether they're the nurses in the medical centre, whether they're teachers in the school, whether they're the coaches of the footy club. They are full families in communities that are off the back of aquaculture in Tasmania. There are incredible statistics in terms of the number of Tasmanians that are working in that sector in Tasmania, predominantly in regional Tasmania. In fact, 9 out of 10 jobs in aquaculture in Tasmania are in regional Tasmania. This is a sector that contributes significantly. It's the largest primary industry in Tasmania. It contributes over $1.3 billion to the Tasmanian economy. Tasmania produces almost the majority, 86% of the seafood production is through aquaculture, and it's the largest seafood industry in the country. So to say that you don't support aquaculture but you support regional communities is, I think, a farce, and it demonstrates really clearly a lack of understanding and a lack of time spent meeting with and understanding the richness, the innovation, the technology, the skill, the capacity of that sector and what it means to Tasmania. Because it's not just about the farmers, it's not just about the people farming the fish, but it's also about the people, and in fact, so many of these people are in Hobart, but the people that are doing world-leading research and creating innovation that allows this work to happen in regional Tasmania, that enables our community across the entire state to flourish. So aquaculture is essential. To not support aquaculture means you don't support our regional communities. If it be in the renewable energy space that I represent in my portfolio of energy and renewables, not backing in a project like Robbins Island. Now, I think we're still not very clear about where the Jackie Lambie network stands, say, for instance, on Whaleback Ridge, but we have got 2 projects in Tasmania at the moment that, if this government had the capacity, and one of the things that I do like in this motion is the question around the policies and the action and the delivery of this government, because I think that is true. There is an understanding of that challenge with this government. But what Tasmania needs more than anything, particularly our regional communities along the northwest coast, is for us to get a renewable energy project across the line. And by backing Robbins Island, by backing Whaleback Ridge, it allows projects like Able Energy, like HIF, to actually come about and fully transform Tasmania in our urban centres, but most importantly in our regional centres. The flow-on effect that happens from what you see in our productive industries in Tasmania, whether it be salmon, whether it be renewable energy, whether it be mining, whether it be native forestry, whether it be agriculture,